Can you see how it works?
No.
Hello, welcome to Dickhead Survival, the much requested third volume. We're going to call it Naked and Afraid, but that's the name of our sex tape.
I survived everything.
So the rules here are we each are allowed to choose 5 things. You'll see those as we sort of unpack. We don't really have much going for us in terms of really anything, in terms of gear, in terms of skills, so should be interesting. We've got some questions from you all to answer later around the camp. We're basically going to set up 2 different sites, so she's got her stuff, I've got my stuff. We have to have our own fires, because you know, fire making's something that everyone likes to see, so our various items will, you know, assist us or not assist us. So yeah, let's get to it. We'll unpack and we'll see what we're working with. So these are my items. It is the Cold Steel SR1 folding knife. Yeah, I know, right? It's a folding knife, but I needed to review it, so I've brought it along. It's apparently supposed to be hard use. A wool blanket, because we all know that bushcraft artisans can make anything happen with a wool blanket. I bought a fire starter, which is the Bear Grylls one. Kind of embarrassing brand wise, but it's actually a really good fire starter. I brought my clean canteen, and I bought a sleeping bag because tonight the cold is going to be our nemesis. Isn't it, love? Mm. What were you saying?
I was saying you could use the wool blanket to wrap this around you.
That could be like the belt for my wool blanket tunic.
But then I broke it.
It's still got a bit of life left in it. What do you reckon, love?
Be a jolly swag, man.
It's about time we drank each other's piss. I don't know. Is it gross?
Yeah.
We make it, but then I guess you wouldn't eat your own shit, would you? So what do you reckon? That is a swag, my dear.
Not enthused. Not enthused? I'm not a swag enthusiast.
But it's not, because you're...
Why do my friends do this for fun?
Because they're, I don't know, they're outdoorsy. You've got 2 guidelines which will tie. There should be some posts in there somewhere which will add some structure to it, and yeah.
Okay.
We will see. So while she's doing that, I don't actually have much in the way of a plan for my shelter tonight. I have basically 2 blankets, not much waterproof stuff going on there at all. It'll probably be about -1 or 2 degrees Celsius tonight. So of course my brain goes to what would my most renowned survivalist do? Who is the person in my life that is the most adept at surviving? Of course I think of my Siberian Husky Ada, and she digs a hole in the ground to sleep, so maybe I will do that. Who knows? Is that a terrible idea? I know we're supposed to be avoiding the ground cold as well, but I reckon I'm going to risk it. I'm going to go and do what Ada would do. Where are you going to put that?
I don't know.
So what have you got there, love? That looks like might be one of your items.
I have water.
Someone brought a big box of water because she didn't want to drink the river water, so that was one of her items. So perhaps lacking versatility, but
I'm laughing now, but you won't be laughing when you're drinking bog water.
Toilet water, yeah. So yeah, we'll go and put that where. Well, go and pick your site, love. You know, go and pick a place. There's a whole swathe of options here, as you can see. All this empty ground here. There's a big sandy, loamy little open patch amongst all the trees and forests and stuff. Nah, don't go there.
Why?
Look, that's a shit idea. Don't go there. Go somewhere else.
Why?
Try somewhere else, love. Trust me, that's just no good, that place.
Why?
Don't go, try somewhere else, I tell you. Yep, that's better.
You're an asshole.
Go there instead. I would just like to say this is barely survival, using a pre-constructed shelter, but I guess we are barely survivalists, so.
I don't even like being outside, so.
Okay.
Why does this one seem bigger than the other one?
One is bigger, one end is wider.
Oh. Damn it! Look at it, Pete. What did you do to it?
It's just, you can...
Oh.
What did I do to it? So we are on the hunt for a digging stick. How's the time-lapse swag construction going?
Fine, I think.
It's alright. Yes, you need 2 pegs. So you can find some sticks, which maybe we can use this newly harvested wood. So 1 peg, 2 peg, and your swag is erect. So in what could almost be a manufactured survival scenario, there are no pegs for the swag. There's just because I'm disorganized and the pegs are probably in something else. But there are no pegs for the swag, so now we get to use our tools that we brought to make some. What tool is that there, love? Okay, it's a silky saw folding saw, isn't it? Mm. Yeah. So I'm going to be fashioning this into a digging stick. There isn't really a great deal of art to it. Just knock off the bits that are going to hurt me hands if I'm digging with it. Meanwhile over here we've got some real quality bushcraft occurring, so better come and have a look at what's happening here. What are we making there, love? Some tent pegs.
Didn't think I'd have to, but yes.
I almost need you to tell me, hey Pete, come and every time you're about to do something, because it's always awesome. So we're using our silky saw to dig a hole. See, this is what happens, people, when people are pushed to the limits in survival scenarios. They don't always use their gear as
What's wrong with this?
suggested. Well, I guess nothing really. It's you might want to find something heavy to smash that in with, though, like a makeshift hammer of sorts or something.
Use back of this?
We can certainly try. I'll just make sure the camera's filming.
I don't reckon that's in deep enough.
May not be. May not be. Here. This could make a reasonable hammer.
It's too hard here to hammer it in.
I'd be surprised.
It's alright, I can just keep digging with this. You need to put your sleeping hole closer, please.
How about here will be fine?
But my head's going to be here.
Hey?
But my head's going to be over here.
So where do you want my sleeping hole?
Like here.
Right where you're putting that tent in? That tent stake in? Good idea.
You have to protect me from, I don't know.
From the Babadook.
From people.
Babadook.
Just very happy I didn't see that movie.
Oh man, the ground's hard. Ah, damn it, Earth.
Do you want me to borrow my saw?
I'd sooner use my knife.
I think I might have bent the saw a little.
Oh really? Oh. Well, it's kind of holding it up, isn't it?
Kind of, but if I get in there and move... Oh, actually, it's not too bad. There's got to be some way to... Do you reckon if I wet this down?
What generally people do is they just nail, they carve a point on the end of it and they hammer it in. Does that make sense? Not to tell you how to survive, it's your journey, man, but that's generally what folks do.
But I don't have a knife.
Well, you could ask to borrow mine, perhaps.
Never.
Finished.
It's alright. It's getting there.
That's definitely fine. Check this out. 2 survival winners. One's making a tent stake with a folding saw. The other one's digging his sleeping hole.
See, look, that's got a sharp point. That's very sharp. Feel that with your finger.
Should I put my leather gloves on first?
Maybe.
I don't want to cut myself. Ow!
It's sharp.
It is. It's sharp on that exact point, but it needs to
good.
go into the ground.
That's okay. I'll just make my hole a bit deeper.
Sorry?
Do you have to?
Well, it helps.
Might be a photo opportunity in a minute,
Sorry?
maybe.
Just saying, probably not a good my favourite murder to listen to last night.
Especially like, oh, mate, going by, oh, hey there, kids.
Now they know we're here.
Hey there, kids. You staying here all night, are you? Shame if someone came back and murdered you both in your sleep. Should I build a little trough in it halfway along for like morning wood?
What's so funny? I think I'm doing a good job.
You actually probably are, you know. And this is us outdoors.
Oh, nearly got myself.
I was going to say, because us outdoor snobs have very rigid ways that we think things should get done. I mean, of course, if you want your gear to last more than one trip, then you might well adhere to that. But
You shouldn't have given it to me then, Pete.
yeah, that's a fair point. Well, I've at least made us a perfectly serviceable outdoor toilet. I think this camera's better off set up watching you do your thing than watching me do my thing. Hey, Gideon's Tactical, is this how you broke your silky saw? And I guess that's fair because, you know, they use the stuff a whole bunch. But
Oh no!
oh no, what the fuck? Oh, there's heaps of rope left. Goodness me, look at the state of that. Maybe you didn't hit it in hard enough with your folding saw. And maybe put your box water like.
Yeah.
There you go.
So, I found this big dead tree. Oh, hang on. Can you see? It's a bit heavy to carry on its own, so I'm gonna saw it up. Kind of would like one really huge bit of wood to like keep the fire going. So I found this. I don't know if this is even going to cut through it, but I'm going to try. This sucks. break the knife.
Well, it's all part of it, isn't it? All part of the review process. They say it's a hard use knife. This is the world's strongest lock after all. And I did want to baton a log at least once in this video because it is YouTube after all that. There we go. Got myself some nice sword log to make some feather sticks because it's YouTube. Dinosaur.
It is, look.
You don't come outside very much.
If you break it like that, imagine the comments.
The comments will be awesome. I'm kind of hoping it does.
Watch that knife cost.
$2.50?
That'd be great if you broke it.
Yay! Hey, this video will make at least like $3 in ad revenue over the next 12 months, you know.
Hey dude, those $3 are all my $3.
Okay. Well, hey, there we go. See? You can do it. And that blade is just getting rattlier. We'll try on this one. This one looks a little bit better.
I mean, unpopular opinion, but...
See, that's what they're kind of supposed to look a bit more like.
You mean mine isn't?
It's very, very good.
It's fabulous.
It's an excellent feather stick. Stop putting shit on it then.
It's gone out. The leaves.
I must say, love, despite my shaky start, I feel like my fire has more purpose. Don't you? More, you know?
Your fire is just nerdier than my fire.
Look, it's nice and concentrated. It knows where it needs to be, you know? It's standing its ground.
Well, mine is almost burning the swag. I'm about to use my feather stick.
Yes, put that feather stick on. Better take cover. So, we have made fire. 2 of them, in fact. And what's next? Well, it's, yeah.
We're gonna make damper, but...
Yeah, we bought damper, which is like, I know it's not really within the rules of not bringing any food, but it's the worst thing you could ever eat anyway. It's basically like a glue that you put in the fire that you then eat, so we're probably going to try making that. When should we do that?
Once our fires are like...
Coaly, isn't it?
Yeah.
Need some coals.
Can we just take some of those?
Now, one of my 5 items this time was a wool blanket. Now, a wool blanket can be used and has been used by frontiersmen since the days of old for all sorts of different shelter and clothing purposes. A real bushman will be able to make himself anything from a tunic to a full three-piece tuxedo using nothing but a wool blanket. And as you can see, with a few short maneuvers, you can make yourself a perfectly fancy bushcraft skirt. Alrighty, so when I did my previous Dickhead survivals, I had myself a little handy reference schematic to show how skilled I was. I was somewhere between a raccoon and a ham sandwich. I'm quite out of practice, so I think my skill level has actually decreased on a scale of ham sandwich to, who was the top person? Les Stroud, I think. So I'm probably say down somewhere towards near maybe just plastic bag now. What do you think you are, love, at the moment?
I don't know.
It's a scientific scale, so you should be able to apply some sort of metric to it.
Maybe like...
So it's like ham sandwich, plastic bag, like length of hose, then like maybe just a goldfish, and then there's a raccoon. Well, that's quite a steep jump. Then there's like a horse, and then a... then just like a normal human, and then maybe a human who's watched heaps more YouTube than me, and then, geez, how many marks am I filling on my scale?
I don't know, I think we have to see until after we've tried to cook something.
That's true. Cooking packet s'mores, I'm not sure if that'll elevate us much higher. If we fail it might plummet us far lower though, so that's true, that's true. Overall though, so far, I think we've made it work.
I think, what's higher, ham sandwich or plastic bag?
Plastic bag's higher than ham sandwich, because a ham sandwich just sits there and gets eaten. Plastic bag can be at least used for like collection of goods, and you know, while still doesn't bear any sentience and can't, you know.
How do you think I've done? Do you think I'm like plastic bag?
Yeah, definitely not ham sandwich, so probably plastic bag out of 10.
Plastic bag out of 10.
Plastic bag out of 10. There's both of us right now. I'm definitely not where I was before.
Because you made a bed last time? Or?
Yeah, this is just like, I'm literally just sleeping in a hole in the ground. Like that's properly simple, that is. Anyway, let's go and do a bit of a shelter review, shall we? Right, so love, did you want to walk us through your shelter?
Sure.
So show us what you've done. Go from bottom to top and just show us everything about your shelter that you'll be sleeping in tonight.
Well, I use my box water, and this is more of an anchor now than a peg.
Yeah. I can see that.
But it works.
Sure.
I think.
Improvise, adapt, overcome.
And then on this side, this one is holding up okay.
So it is.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world.
And then in here...
That's your other item, and isn't there a sleeping bag in there, hey?
Yep. Ta-da!
Nice.
So I think it'll be okay. Kind of.
Yeah, definitely worthy of plastic bag.
Seriously don't know why people would choose to do it, but okay.
Well, moving on, yeah, well, exactly. You do you. It should be everyone's philosophy, you know, you do you. So this is my shelter. It is a hole that I dug in the ground, and it is has my sleeping bag on it, which was one of my items, and then my wool blanket at the top, which was another one of my items. My last two being my knife and my drink container. Wait, I had 5 items, didn't I?
Fire steel.
My fire steel, yep. So these are my 2 shelter-based items, wool blanket and sleeping bag. Usually I would just bring the 1 shelter-based item. I think last time I literally didn't make it. Last time I think I just slept like...
In the hole.
That's right, I slept in a tree last time. So, yet to broach adequate sheltercraft on this channel, that is for sure. But yes, you know, to be honest, I'm going to put a bit more of a fire just here. Like a little tiny one, and then I'm gonna, you know, maybe build this wall up here just a little bit more for some fire reflectivity, and I guess time will tell how much I want to die by the morning. So, oh yeah. Alright, so we have and I know this is kind of outside the scope, but we thought it would be interesting to make damper, which is, I don't know if you haven't heard of it, it's like one of those old-fashioned things. The image is some like old Australian dude wandering across our country. I guess at some point he's wandered through a field of wheat and processed himself some flour, and then I don't know, he's got flour, he's got himself some flour, he's got himself some water, and maybe if he's like some kind of king or something, he's got himself some butter and salt. So yeah, and then he mixes all those things together in a bag and makes what is essentially bread that doesn't rise. So that is what we're going to make now. You put it on the campfire coals. We have cheated a bit, and we're not using these things for anything else apart from making damper. So yeah, we're gonna do that. Bag of flour. What is it? Flour and some other shit, some salt and stuff. And yeah, I think you can probably just put. Need it for 5 minutes.
God. Me.
What do you reckon? So it's one layer, and then.
Oh, that was a mistake, putting my hand in there.
And then like another layer of foil.
Yeah.
What the first layer's for?
I don't know, extra protection probably. One of the recipes said you can just put the dough in the fire and then peel off the charcoal bit. Why would you do that?
Because you're a true blue Aussie stockman, mate. We don't fuck around with foil, with your Ponzi foil. We just put it straight in the fire.
Thanks.
That's literally the worst thing to be doing when you're out in the woods. I can't think of something I'd rather be doing less than like kneading a ball of like bread-like dough in the middle of the bush.
Can we get your bed stick? Your bed making stick.
Your bread making stick?
No, your bed making stick that you use to make your bed.
Oh, my digging stick.
And I think we just put it in there. And then we cover it up. Has to be terrible, right?
Has to be. This fire is so hot. This just in. Fire is so hot. Got our damper cooking, which is going to be fucking great, no doubt. And I've got my questions that I've put out a thing to ask everyone. So, Patreons first, because those guys pay the bills. And remember, if my Patreon gets to $250 a month, I'm going to do one of these where you get to choose all the items, the patrons. So, like, you could send me out here literally with like, you could send me out here with like a case of beer, and I would just sit in the cold getting progressively drunker, and like, you know, a horse mask, and I don't know, it could be anything. So, let's go. Nick Shabazz says, being a YouTuber is weird as hell. What's your favourite part about sharing this part of your life with the world? And your least favourite part? It's the same for us as well, for you as well. So, the weirdest part about YouTube for me is that if I was inclined, I could just spend all day on my phone talking to people at this point. It's 13,000 now. And it's there's a lot of questions always coming. Every day I probably have 5 questions in my inbox asking for like a knife advice or whatever. Usually the questions are answerable by an older video because I've just got so many videos now as well. So yeah, it's just that if I wanted to, it could just consume all my time, which is really strange. There's like always people kind of knocking on this back door that I have in my head, sort of wanting advice, which is fine. It's all part of it. But yeah, that's been a strange thing in the last few months at least to get used to. I can't even maintain the Facebook anymore. I just don't have the time pretty much. So yeah, what do you find about it?
About you sharing stuff on YouTube?
Yeah, or just about me being...
Yeah, I mean, that's a good outlet, and generally means that, this is going to sound terrible, I don't have to talk to you about this stuff very much.
Except for one time, every so often where I'll drag you out camping, but at least you get to sleep in a swag. I mean, bent the rules massively for that. Griff, Fifth Element or 12 Monkeys? and have we seen Bad Boy Bubby? I remember as a kid, I'd see the VHS cassette for Bad Boy Bubby at the video store, and it was like R, and it just looked weird as hell. I never saw it. I'm a little bit too young maybe for it to have been like a movie that I was allowed to see by myself. And Fifth Element I like more than 12 Monkeys. 12 Monkeys, yeah, it's a fine film, but I like the colourful abstractness of the Fifth Element. It's really, really good. And
sit in your shadow.
Yeah, and Mila Jovovich's first movie, if I remember correctly, she had that red hair kicking around in that Band-Aid costume. Fifth Element.
Band-Aid?
Yeah, she had like, you remember Fifth Element? Yeah. Do you have an opinion on that?
No.
Alright, would I do this as a job if it paid enough? Yeah, probably, but I got kids, man, so I'd have to pay a shitload. It'd have to be like PewDiePie. I reckon even like the 200,000 guys would be like modestly getting by, like, and that's a lot of work at that point. So you'd have to go either full time or just keep doing what I'm doing and see if I can gradually adapt to it. Don't know. Do friends of you think I'm a weirdo for being a knife nerd?
No, they really don't.
What
They just, you know. I mean, maybe they think it's a little bit weird, but...
I think people are just generally...
But you're friendly and
yeah,
kind and...
I think people find it interesting when you've got something else to talk to them about. Who's winning in the footy, how the weather is. As long as you don't overdose them and absolutely, like, bum their ears with, like, excessive overdoses of information. And I think I'm okay with doing that.
I think my friends just sort of go, oh, Pete's really nice. And then don't really think too much about this side of things. Except for the ones who, like, will watch the videos and stuff every now and again, and yeah.
Do a live stream with Nick. I'd love to do a live stream with Nick. It would be manageable. It just never occurred to me you can do it until the other day when I was live on YouTube, and you can invite other people along. So, yeah, man, I'm sure Nick would be up for it, so we'll do that one day, I'm sure. Are we not freezing our butts? Not just yet. We've been working all day, and the sun's kind of shining right on us, so it's okay. Once that sun goes, it'll be cold as fuck. What's the right age to start potty training?
Oh, dude. Is this a serious question, do you think?
I don't see why not.
Because if it is, toilet training is the hardest part about being a parent.
Yeah, it was the shittest.
Don't you think?
Yeah, it was shit.
It's so hard. Look, my mum used to say that my oldest, because I'm one of 4, she speak, oh, the latest was your brother and he was 18 months. 18 months.
Yeah, people give all these
rubbish.
Like, yeah, they give all these amazing stories. It's not, as long as they're not shitting themselves when they go to school.
Yeah, before kindy.
Yeah, before kindy.
Before 4. And
yeah.
even then, they'll do it eventually. Look, we ended up doing...
What was it, probably about 3 and 4 or so, until like...
It was hard. God, it was so hard.
Until nighttime. It's the last really, really hard thing about having an utterly dependent child. Yeah, children are always dependent, arguably. But, yeah, having like a fully dependent child is like from when they're a baby to when they're toilet trained. So it's the last thing, it's the hardest thing, but after it, it's a bit... And you don't have to buy nappies anymore. We
did that 3-day potty train, like 3-day, I think it was called potty training actually, it must be American.
Yeah, we say toilet training here, I guess. We don't use the word potty really.
No,
but
because we very rarely use an actual potty, we just put our kids on the toilet.
Yeah, it's just persistent structure, it's nasty.
Tons of like rewards.
And heaps of shit pants, just sucks.
Just buy like 1 million packets of undies.
Yeah. Cool. So Dan was just telling me about that measuring thing, that angle measuring thing, but that's fine. I'll get to that probably in a separate video at some point. So let's dig into the actual YouTube questions. Alrighty, back to it. The damper is not quite ready. So heaps of questions in a couple of hours, and 1 dislike, you turd. Boo! Which of you is the bigger dickhead in the survival challenge? Well, you know what? You know tomorrow... So is her birthday, so I would say bringing your wife who hates camping out on a camping trip with no gear and not exactly a nice camping trip is probably putting that heavily in my favour of being the bigger dickhead here. And this is a question for you. Why does my penis burn when I make pee-pee? She's a nurse, so she might be able to... Yeah.
Got the clap?
Got the clap. Oh, there's probably some other reasons. Maybe you haven't drunk enough water and your uric acid is too strong in your urine.
Maybe you have a UTI.
Yeah, you could have a urinary tract infection. If you're
get that checked.
Yeah, if you're elderly, it's probably causing you some other forms of distress as well. But if you're on the younger side, yeah, it could just be a urinary tract infection. Having too much sex or not peeing after sex can sometimes cause that. So Spyderco Sustain and CPM 20 CV is a great house defense weapon. Okay. I don't think I'd be as happy with a knife as a house defense weapon than just a big old like mag light or like just a big stick, something longer. Because a knife has to be, unless it's like a huge knife, which yeah, I guess I could see the merits in that. But I prefer a big cudgel, like a mag light, blind him and then smack him. That's my choice. Will you please do another Dickhead survival?
Sure.
I don't know. Maybe in 2020. What's the name of the breeder who bred your British Blue? No, it wasn't Catastic Brits. It was simply...
No, it was Unforgettable.
Unforgettable Cats, I think, from Tasmania. She bred Basil. Really nice lady. Yeah, go and check on the damper. I'll see if I can keep going. What's your favourite celebrity TV survival star? Which American food do I wish I could try? In terms of American survival stars, well...
Feels pretty rock hard over here.
Cool. Oh, it might be done. Is it black?
Yes.
Oh dear.
Very.
Can't even smell it. I have to hold these questions. We think we've blackened the damper. Let's have a look. Oh no,
Not
that's
terrible.
all right. We'll just cut the black off with my knife.
Oh no!
Bit longer maybe. Alright, so we've got the original damper and the backup damper both going full steam ahead. So let's do some more Q's and A's. So where were we? Oh, TV survival star. I used to like Bear Grylls a whole bunch. He's kind of lost his luster a little bit since we all became so sincere and earnest about things, but he was always entertaining. But I don't really watch much TV survival. Even the survival, I'm not particularly like this Dickhead survival. I mean, this is not my interest. I'm just a knife nerd, but you know, I like fixed blades. I like outdoorsy stuff. So, but yeah, survival isn't really my my main cup of tea anymore. And what American food do we wish we could try?
I want to try like one of those big pizzas where the slices are like
Yeah,
huge and floppy.
Yeah, you have places where you go and you just get a single slice of pizza, but it's like as big as one Australian pizza pretty much. So that looks cool, yeah. Are we cousins? No, but you know, I reckon when people spend a lot of time together, you do start looking like each other a little bit. I don't know, I guess we both got glasses.
Got completely different ethnic backgrounds.
That's true. It would be pretty hot if we were cousins though, wouldn't it? Smells a bit bready, doesn't it?
Kind of.
Smells a bit burny as I'm opening it. What do you reckon? All black?
Yeah.
Black as the ace of spades. Whee! Quite bready. Yeah, it's like bread that doesn't raise, but you have to like cut off the burnt bits, I guess. But yeah, I guess you could eat like this part and this part. Lucky I've got a knife. Mmm.
It smells bad.
Here we are. This fucking shit piece here. So much butter. It's still not gonna improve it. Alright. Have I ever designed my own knife? Nah. I'm not that part, it's funny. I have no interest in custom or designing my own knives at all, or doing knife maker courses. I'm very focused with me. Are you trying? What do you think of it? It's not fucking terrible, is it? Like, it's not so bad.
I wouldn't like choose it, but
No.
it's fine.
It's fine. It's because this is the only thing we're eating tonight. It's not that bad. Well done.
So much soot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually not horrible.
If it had garlic in it, it would be better.
Yeah. So I plan on passing my outdoor skills to my kids. I hope
skills.
Are they going to be okay home alone? Yeah, they're fine.
They've got Ada there.
Yeah, Ada's a pretty smart dog. She'll be taking care of them just fine, I'm sure. When you measure your dick in Australia, it's centimetres, isn't it? We don't do that here. Yeah, no, centimetres for sure, or millimetres in my case. If we each had 500 bucks given to us that we had to be spent on each other, what would we get for the other person? That's a good question. What would you get if you had $500 to spend
I'd
on me?
probably go to like Kathmandu and get you like
Yeah.
a ton of just clothes.
Because
he never buys clothes.
I'm a bit of a whore for that brand lately as well. I got the Kathmandu boots on, pants on, under layer. We're both wearing base layers. Base layer. So we're both wearing base layers. Yes, I like my Kathmandu. For you, I would probably get you. I'd probably get you like some nice, just like nice pajamas and bathrobes and slippers and things like that. Maybe like the nicest ones possible. Yeah,
I'd be happy with that.
yeah, you'd be happy enough with that, I think. What qualities do you admire most in each of us? Stuart Harvey with a nice, wholesome question there. Thank you, Stu. I'll let you go first, love.
Pete is very patient and always speaks nicely.
Speaks nicely, what, to you? Or
To everyone.
Yeah, I try to. And Tree is just very, very responsible, much more so than me. Like, yeah, the life would be a lot more chaotic if there was two me's running it. It probably wouldn't run that well at all. That's for sure. But yeah, so I guess that's a quality, being like just...
So it says 3.
3 qualities, holy shit. Damn, Stu. Alright, so you had 2, didn't you? So I talk nicely and...
And you're a good dad.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that probably comes down to a responsibility thing, but yeah, very good mother. We have very similar... we don't really disagree too much on parenting, which is very, very nice. Yeah. Qualities is super supportive. Like coming out doing this, it's good. It's not, most people would just be like, fuck that, I'm not doing that, I'm not being in your stupid videos, you can get fucked. Like I got guys whose wives would like talk to them like that, and I don't know, like I got friends who, you know, just like, what are you even married for, you know? Like people are really, really harsh to each other, and we're just nice to each other. I just don't get how people settle for less than that. I don't know.
Well, now it's getting cold.
Let's see what a couple 100 grams of butter looks like when you chuck it straight on the campfire.
I'm feeling this is going to glow pretty brightly. Just in the process of dragging the fire over that way. Might be the dumbest idea ever, but kind of made sense to us. We weren't using it here, and this way it is between our 2 sites. So we will see if this is any good. I will never get tired of watching you drink water straight out of the bubble. How's your water? Good?
Yes, it's clean. It doesn't taste like dirt.
Oh, it's speckling.
Look shit.
It's like, I wonder if they'll believe us when we say that the moon actually looks really, really cool right now. Maybe it's just 'cause we're watching it through this tiny little screen. That's reflected on the river down below, and that's, you know, I think on 1080 when this is blown up it'll actually look alright. It's like, wow, look at the moon, we've got to take a photo for everyone. Nope.
Well, I'm in the swag. Why would anyone choose to do this?
Miscalculations have been made. I didn't think it was going to be this cold. Actually, I knew it was going to be this cold. I thought my setup would be manageable. It's not working. My sleeping hole is actually fairly comfortable, but fire's gone out really quickly. Nothing there of it, and I'm just too damn cold. I have a I'm in my sleeping bag and I'm using my wool blanket as a pillow because I couldn't. It's just not working. Ham sandwich.
Ham sandwich.
This is what happens when you go out with no skills. But this is what happens when you yeah, just choose the wrong thing. I'm just that point where I just can't quite sleep because it is too damn cold. It's tried for a few hours now, and it was sort of either break out of my little cocoon and stoke the fire, or stay in my cocoon and stay warm, which I did. I chose the second one, but then the fire went out and then staying warm just wasn't possible anymore. So it's -2 now, which is 27 degrees Fahrenheit, I think, which is pretty cold. Like, we're Australians, we're not used to this. So yeah, and she couldn't sleep in the swag at all.
Nope.
It was warm but not comfortable. I'm comfortable but not warm. So yeah, rather than pretend that we stayed out all night, we're just fucking off because this sucks and we don't get too many times by ourselves without our kids. So we're going back to our house, sleep in our bed.
Run away! Run away! Run away!
We would be screwed if we actually had to do survival.
I mean,
hard.
if you didn't have a choice to leave, you'd have to stay there and you'd just suffer and you'd stay up all night, and then the next day you'd end up like intermittently nodding off or whatever. But because we're like,
Terrible.
because we're just like doing it for fun, it's like, no, this isn't fun, this is shit. So we just left. Yeah.
It's a good lesson for you kids.
Yeah.
When things get too
If
hard.
it's too hard, just fucking bail. And look, come back to your nice warm bed and drink some tea and shit. We wash the sheets and stuff so they're nice and crisp. Yeah. I don't know. Not a great lesson from this one. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it enough just seeing us. If you're turning to this channel for advice of any kind,
Screwed.
apart from maybe advice on like how to put a decent edge on your knife, you're probably in the wrong place. You probably misread me, or I've misrepresented myself as a person. Anyway, hey, 2 out of 3 ain't bad that I've survived. Maybe Dickhead Survival 4 in 2025 will be a different story. Who knows?
You've gone your own that time. Jeez Louise.
Yeah. Worst episode ever.